Hello there, Coinceras. It brings joy to my heart to have you here today. The SEC highlighted Ripple Labs in their response to the letters submitted to Judge Torres. Judge Torres is now receiving a response from the SEC. I will not read it all, but I would want to draw your attention to a few points. However, I will swiftly address the main point. It has been stated by the attorney that the SEC versus Ripple litigation might reach a conclusion as soon as July 13th. I will address this assertion towards the video's conclusion. Up until July 31st, that is. Evidently, this is going to take place very soon, and I would be overjoyed to go. Please like and share the video if Ripple and XRP interest you so that everyone may stay updated on the digital revolution. Hello, everyone, once again. Very well, I will scan it fast. See whether it pops up on this screen. In reaction to Ripple Labs' letter to Judge Torres, the SEC is behaving like a baby by asserting that the sources provided by Ripple and the result of the SEC v Binance Holdings case have nothing to do with the dispute between the two firms. The SEC claims that Ripple is trying to benefit from Binance's decision to pursue legal action, but it does not elaborate on what Ripple is doing or what remedies are required. According to the SEC, Ripple's letter acknowledges a potentially important and crucial aspect of Binance's conclusion and rejects the idea that the fair notice concept provides a defense to liability. Finally, similar to Ripple, the SEC is emphasizing that the defendants knew that the Binance court might take action. In spite of the cherry-picked comments and a distorted interpretation of Justice Nance's decision, the SEC's letter to Judge Torres proves beyond a reasonable doubt that this is not true. We are cognizant of the fact that Judge Jackson's most recent Binance ruling was harsh in its criticism of the SEC, implying that the agency is trying to present itself as an entity deserving of regulation under securities laws. Beyond that, it's simply wrong. Some digital assets even serve as currencies, many more resemble commodities than securities. Judge Torres's reaction will be intriguing to watch in light of attorney Fred Rispoli's probable prediction that the SEC vs. Rippling case would be settled by July 31st. 10 days ago, on July 13th, the last day of the month this recording was made. Despite Binance's recent victory, Rollets intends to keep fighting the SEC's position on XRP sells. Generally speaking, I turn this up a level. Judges have criticized the SEC for being ambiguous on the subject of Bitcoin regulation. The SEC and two federal judges have now reached a disagreement over the meaning of a security, as I indicated yesterday. It was expressly asked for the expected end date of the SEC v Ripple lawsuit. To give it a more poetic twist, attorney Rispoli could suggest using the expiration date of July 13th instead of July 31st, thus, it would be poetic if the federal court announced Judge Torres's ruling on the same date as last year. Everyone remembers last year's events surrounding the dismissal of the XRP security ruling. On that particular day, we saw almost 100% gameplay. Due to its status as the last word, I would expect there to be more. Thus, I am in search of an enhancement or something like. The end is at hand. This decision is still significant, though, because of how late it is. Go back to July 13th to see what went down. It was a watershed moment, you know. A lot of ground had been covered. There was a massive explosion in the sector, and it wasn't just RIV. Now, for everyone's enjoyment, an unedited quote, due to the SEC's lack of proof, the court deemed the secondary market selling of BNB tokens on cryptocurrency exchanges as a security transaction. According to the SEC, Binance's USD-backed stablecoin might be seen as an investment contract. Nevertheless, their claims were rejected by the court. Whatever the number of claims that the SEC denies, This was an expert excerpt from the release provided by the Finance Department. We expect the SEC to face significant challenges in proving these claims, even though the court has given them permission to proceed. I get where you're coming from, but the SEC is obviously overwhelmed. When is this going to stop after all this time? I see that some of us are just numb. Yet, we grow nearer with each passing day. If you could subscribe and like my channel before I wind down, that would mean the world to me.